Teacher reflection time. So the other day, I had this awesome discussion with my students. I mean, it was awesome. I have 25 students in my class, and we were on point. The questions were great, the students' responses were off the charts, and ultimately, it was the greatest discussion that you could imagine. So obviously, I go home and I start reflecting on it, and I'm sitting at home and I'm like, you know what? You're awesome. But then I quickly realized it was the worst discussion ever. So why was it the worst discussion ever? That's because I have 25 students in my classroom. That's right, 25 students in my classroom, and I had a conversation with only 4 of them. So yeah, it was a great conversation with 4 of my students, but what were the other 21 students doing? Maybe listening, but definitely not actively engaged, and that is my fault. I've got to create an expectation in my classroom that every student is going to be required to answer a question. I know some students are going to continue to answer, but sometimes you got to say you got to hold on, right? You got to hold off. Let the other students answer, and then you can jump in. And I need to make sure that I'm doing that on a regular basis. And the bottom line is this is happening in every classroom. We all have those go-to 4 students, right? They make you feel good as teachers. They know what they're talking about. They're engaged in the conversation. They're excited about learning. But you know what? We're doing an injustice to the other 21 students in our classroom. So let's make sure that we are including everyone in the classroom so that those 21 students aren't expecting the other 4 students to give them the answer. We know this is best practice. We know that there should be an expectation that all students are going to answer the question, that every student is going to be chosen to answer a question, but sometimes it doesn't happen. So hopefully my failure is a reminder to all of you that we need to ensure that every student is actively engaged throughout an entire lesson.